Alertwolf here, going to bring you another review. This one is of Tron, Tron Uprising, episode 15. This one's called State of Mind. Well, first off, I'd like to say Happy New Year, guys. I know this is coming out late. It should have been out the day before. It should have been out on Monday, but, you know, Monday being New Year's Eve and all, and New Year's Day. And, you know, just got too busy with life, I guess, and partying and whatnot. Put this one out sooner. But that, you know, that being said, I finally got to watch the episode. And I'll get right into it. Other little news, I reached, I think, 31 subscribers. Just over, hold on one second. Yeah, 31 subscribers and 23,000 views, so I broke 20,000 views. So, total views. So that's pretty good. That's a little milestones for me. Again, I wish my subscriber count was higher, but, you know, little by little, we'll chip at it, and, you know, and I'll put out a better and better show until you guys jump aboard. But, alright. So basically, this episode starts off, with, it looks like Mira, with different color hair, is about to take out Zed. And he's trying to stop her. She's defacing her own graffiti, and she wants to destroy the Renegade, and she's going to destroy him to do it. So we're like, what's going on? Then they go several cycles earlier, basically several days before, and there's a car accident while Mira is driving a truck where this orange gaseous stuff gets released. Something happens to her. And basically the next thing we get is she's being experimented on in some way. And then we get Zek talking to his bike, and Zek and Beck going Zed, not Zek. You know, I combined their names just now. I knew it didn't sound right. So Zed talking to his bike, then Beck coming over, and basically he confirms that he's still mad at the Renegade for taking his first bike, and they're still tuning it. And that's when Mira walks in. Her eyes are orange and her hair is orange, and she is talking about how beautiful the occupation is. And Zed realizes she's in trouble. Beck realizes it too, but has to play it off since he's going to get all Renegade on this situation. And then we get a team up. We get a team up between Zed and Beck. And what I like about this is we're going to get some character development out of Zed. I mean, remember, he started off highly opposed to the Renegade. So much so that even if Beck wanted to tell him, it would put them at odds. So working together for Zed to save the woman he loves, even though he hasn't told her yet, and working with somebody he hates, which is the Renegade. And he feels threatened by because he feels like she likes him, and she slightly does. So then, you know, we find out, obviously, it's Tesler responsible for this. He has a scientist called Kessler, and she is being forced, she's a medical scientist who's being forced to brainwash everybody. Apparently, she created this Agent Orange, so to speak. Well, they don't call it Agent Orange; they just call it Agent. And, it's orange. So I put two and two together. Anyway, she put together this thing to help liberate code, to free the minds of, I guess, programming, to liberate programming. And now it's being used for the opposite effect, which is to enslave people. So she's not too happy. He threatens her a little, and she has to go along with it. So, and he said, Tesler says if you don't, Tesler says if you don't go along, Pavel will fucking kill you and whatnot. Same old, same old. So, then we have, as part of the team up, and I'll say this for this episode, there really, really wasn't an A-B storyline, which is what we've been getting the last few episodes. So this isn't a plot, subplot type of thing. I mean, up until the very end of this episode, does the story slightly diverge a little, but it's all part of the same plot. So I enjoy that. And so they go to track down, because Zed finds out that there was 6 explosions, or 6 crashes, and by the way, the way they meet up is, as the Renegade goes to investigate the crash site, you find that Zed is there, and so there's the team up. And they discovered that there were 6 crashes that day, and it looks like there's a 7th one because they see a truck fly by. So they do what they can. There's a dual motorcycle battle between Zed and Beck versus 2 of Tesler's goons, and they come out victorious. They take the truck. The truck is on automatic and is set to crash. They, with Zed's help, they're able to avert the crash at its intended destination, which was in a tunnel, and the truck falls, but they're alright. But they prevented this explosion, and they noticed several others. And this is where it's their idea to follow the victims. And they track them down. They figure out that it's this tower that basically that's causing the whole mess. And you know what? I did forget one scene. So one of the reasons why Zed goes to investigate this in the first place is he meets Mira in the club they always hang out in, and she's hitting on two people that are pro Tesler, that have, I forget the characters' names, but they've been sources of trouble for Zed and Mira, and stuff like that. They're sort of like the crappy bully characters. But anyway, a lot of characters and a lot of people in that club had already been brainwashed, and they were all going to go to this rally for Tesla, which is a big party. So I forgot to mention that, and that becomes important later on. So back to where we were. They break into the base and find out what's what and how things work. That the tower is one thing. The people who aren't brainwashed are about to be brainwashed, and they have to take down the tower to save the day. So, of anybody who's been affected by the orange dust. So what happens is they decide to split up. Beck takes down the ship, and that's releasing the cloud. Zed had put on his mask, or his helmet, to not breathe it in, and he goes to go get Mira out of there. Proceeds to try to pull her away. She's super happy he went to the party, but again, she's been brainwashed. And we're starting to catch up to the exact point of the beginning of the anime. or the beginning of the episode. And what we have is Beck and Pavel are fighting because Beck is going to crash the transport into the tower, thus ending the situation. The Doctor ends up joining in on the fight and helping knock out Pavel, so he's able to crash it. They escape. Pavel gets out of there as well. It crashes in. At the same time, it looks like she's gonna kill Mira's gonna kill Zed. She's about to kill him when it wears off. Thus, he doesn't die, obviously, and she snaps out of it. And just to test her, he asks her. Basically, he asked her, how she felt about the Renegade, and she's like, yeah, I think he does good, and so he's like, all right, she's back to normal. Then Beck and now Beck and Zed are talking. This is not as the Renegade now. Now this is the back in the garage, and he's like, I worked with the Renegade. He's like, oh, you're the best friends with the Renegade now. He goes, I wouldn't say that, but he doesn't seem like he's that bad of a guy. And you see, it's troublesome for Beck, because Beck, that's one of his best friends, honestly. And he's been crapping on him, on both identities. And he doesn't like to abuse his friendship. So he leaves the motorcycle that he had stolen a few episodes before as the Renegade. So he gets his stick back, and he's pretty happy. And you also get that Pavel tells Tesler what happened. He says the Doctor betrayed them, and he's like, we'll get the Doctor back here because we need to rebuild this tower to enslave people again. And the Doctor escapes, and she injects herself with something that turns her into a dude. Then we see at the end of the episode, Mira is changing her color back, and it's very somber, the way the camera moves out, and like she knows something wasn't right, in her recent behavior. For her to put on, wear the enemy's color, so to speak. So it's, there's stuff there, basically. Well, it was a great way to end it, I thought. But, so let's get into it right now. We got some character development for the other member of the trio there. And, he went from a guy who can't stand the Renegade to he's starting to come around to him. So Zed had positive character development right there. He did courageous things to save his chick, even though he's against the revolution or the uprising, and he doesn't want to be the guy who causes trouble, And hell, a few episodes back, he was fighting on the opposite side, So it's just interesting to see where his character is going, and I do like that. It was fun to see Mira as a bad guy. She was very ruthless when she was brainwashed. So all these things I enjoyed. I'm gonna give this episode 3.5. You know what? I'm gonna give it a 4. I don't know if it's worthy of a 4. No, 3.5 is good. So it was a very good episode. It's 3.5 out of 5. It wasn't exactly a 4, but it was good. It was definitely good. Yeah, these episodes have been great. I'm interested to see, exactly where they're gonna go with this. Hopefully, these guys get let in on the secret just like Abel was. And again, I cannot wait to see until he builds a coalition. He actually builds a resistance. Not just Beck fighting by himself with help from two awesome old men like Tron and Abel. I want to see more of a coalition, because he's supposed to be raising an army, and it would be cool to just you know, see how that works. But yeah, so you know what? I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say about this episode. Very straightforward episode. Like I said, you know, it was sort of a run. You know, it was a very, even though it started off a little broken, it was still very linear. And I enjoyed it. So click it up if you like it, comment if you must, subscribe if you can. This is Alert Wolf signing out.